Weight loss might not go in your favor if you do these things. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the most common mistakes when it comes to weight loss. I know I myself, I did most all of these back in the day when I was trying to lose weight. So many things that I learned along the way. So that's why I wanted to make this video to share with you what those mistakes are, those common mistakes, and how you can avoid making them. So let's dive right in. The first mistake when it comes to weight loss is drastically cutting calories. So it's true that the whole idea around weight loss, right, is you have to be in an energy or a calorie deficit. So more energy going out than is coming in. And so because of that, that makes people think that like, oh, okay, so I have to eat less food. And without even taking into consideration, calories and that kind of thing, they just start cutting a bunch of food from their diet, start eating way less than they were before, thinking that that's going to get them to that weight loss goal. So they might only have, an apple or something for breakfast, maybe skip lunch or maybe skip breakfast and lunch in general and just have like a really small dinner. The problem with drastically cutting calories is that if we have our energy intake, right, if it's so low, our body's response isn't going to be to burn more energy and, burn body fat. Our body's response is actually going to be to try to preserve the body fat and, the weight that it has. So what's going to happen is you're going to see your metabolism come down, muscle mass is going to be lost, you'll lose a lot of water weight, you'll have very low energy, your hormones might become dysregulated. All these sorts of things can happen when we cut calories way too low. So instead, what you want to do is aim for a slight calorie deficit, not a massive one, but a slight calorie deficit. We're talking at first, maybe 200-300 calories. Track your calories, right? There's like a million, macro calorie calculators and stuff online. There's a bunch of free apps that you can use, but find out where your sort of maintenance calories are. Decrease only by a little bit. Like I said, 200-300 calories, and then track and then kind of see how the progress goes from there. Being in a slight calorie deficit can still allow us to be in an energy deficit to lose weight, but we're still taking in enough energy to have energy to, exercise and, move around and not feel like crap. So that's the first mistake. Don't drastically cut calories. Try to track your calories, start with a slight deficit, 200-300, and go from there. The second common mistake is cutting carbs. The thing about carbs is carbs are actually our body's preferred energy source. They get broken down into blood sugar or glucose, and then they get stored into our muscle and liver cells as glycogen to be used as energy. Where a lot of the confusion comes from is people, they'll demonize carbs because things like sweets and candy and stuff like that have sugars, and sugars are carbs, and so they kind of lump all carbs into this one category as bad and, you shouldn't eat them and they're going to cause weight gain. When in reality, when you stick to more unrefined whole carb sources like whole grains and beans and fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, potatoes, these kinds of carbs actually come packed with nutrients and vitamins and fiber that actually can assist with weight loss. So carbs aren't inherently bad. They're not going to make you gain weight. Some of the foods that have some carbs, again, like sweets and stuff, right, overdoing those foods can cause weight gain, but it's not the carbs themselves. Another thing is carbs being our body's preferred energy source. A lot of people can feel like crap when they cut carbs. Their workouts can suffer, they can feel really lethargic. So it's really not a good game plan, and it's also unsustainable. So don't cut carbs. If you're trying to lose weight, carbs are fine. Just make sure you're eating more whole food, unrefined sources of carbs rather than the refined, more processed sources of carbs. The next mistake is trying to burn calories. So again, with weight loss, right, it's all about more energy going out than coming in. And so because of this gives people the idea that they have to like burn as many calories as they can. So they start doing, and I was someone who did this, start doing these crazy workout routines or going on long runs or hit cardio, just trying to sweat and feel the burn, when this too can kind of be unproductive. And the big reason why is because when the average sort of sedentary person is just trying to lose weight and they're trying to start exercising, their body actually isn't going to burn a lot of energy from that extra exercise. It only is going to end up burning maybe 10 to 15% of their total daily energy expenditure, which isn't really a lot compared to how most people feel after their workouts. So when you're putting in the hard work and you're feeling the burn and sweating, you can end up just kind of spinning your wheels and not really getting anywhere because you feel like you're putting in so much effort, but you're really, at the end of the day, not burning that much energy. So therefore, not really falling into a deficit and then not losing weight. And then also too, sort of a theme with some of these tips is that, really intense exercise can also be unsustainable. A lot of people, they hate doing it, they don't look forward to it, and they'll eventually kind of fall off the plan. Instead, what you want to do is stick to forms of activity that you enjoy. So whether that's a sport or some activity that gets you active that you enjoy doing and you can stick with consistently. And along with that, the best forms of cardio for weight loss are actually lower intensity forms of cardio, like walking, getting your steps in every day, and then zone 2 cardio. These forms of cardio are great because they're low impact, they don't increase hunger and cravings like higher intensity cardio and exercise can, and they actually help to boost the metabolism, which is going to be great for weight loss. So when it comes to activity and exercise, don't just try to burn calories and try to sweat. Find activities that you enjoy, that you can stick to, and then stick to other low intensity activities like walking and zone 2 cardio. The next mistake when it comes to weight loss is not resistance training. Resistance training and lifting weights is incredible for weight loss. It helps to boost the metabolism, it keeps us active, it keeps us in the gym, helps to build muscle, helps to improve body composition, which is helping to burn fat and build muscles so we sort of look better, that, aesthetic side of things. So on top of zone 2 cardio and getting your steps every day and any other activities you may enjoy, also resistance training on top of that is going to be incredible for weight loss. The next biggest mistake is never tracking food or calories. Now, this isn't something that you have to do in order to lose weight, but if you've never done it before, it's a really good idea just to give you an idea of sort of where your numbers are at and what you're kind of taking in every day. Because by not tracking, you could be taking in excess calories like from sugar beverages or whatever it is and have no idea. And so therefore you could be, again, exercising and maybe eating a little healthier, but on the back end, if you still have these excess, or sneaky calories coming in that you're not aware of, you're not going to see the weight loss. So tracking your food, being aware of what you're eating, what's coming in, is another great tip to help you lose weight. So don't avoid doing that. The next mistake is obsessing over the scale. So weighing in is obviously a great part of weight loss, right? It helps us to see if we're making progress, see where we're at. The thing to know about weight loss is that daily weight fluctuations are gonna happen. They're completely normal. So what you want to do is, instead of focusing on weighing in every single day and seeing, comparing your daily weigh-ins from today to yesterday until tomorrow, keep track of your sort of weekly to monthly weigh-ins. So you should start to see a pattern. Say you weigh yourself 2 to 3 times per week, and then every week you'll start to see a little bit of a pattern, and then every month you'll see in a bigger scale, are you going where you want to go, right? Are things moving in the direction that we want? Because again, daily weight fluctuations can be crazy. Your weight can go up and down for various reasons. It doesn't mean that you're not making progress. It doesn't mean you're not burning fat. Keep more track of the weekly and then monthly weigh-ins and sort of pay attention to what the pattern is. Then the last tip I have for this video in terms of weight loss mistakes is falling for some diet or fad. For keto or carnivore, what you're doing is you're taking out entire food groups from your diet. So that's going to easily eliminate a lot of the calories that you would have otherwise eaten. So at first, these diets seem great, right? People get on them, they start to lose weight, they see improvements, they're like, oh man, this is awesome, right? This is really working. But a lot of people, they'll notice a few weeks in or a month in or 2 months in, it starts to kind of catch up with them. Their energy starts to plummet. They're not feeling very good. It's much, much better to have an overall well-balanced diet. Just track your calories, hit your fiber, your protein, make sure you're in a deficit. That's all you really need to do. You don't need to cut out entire food groups, demonize carbs or fats. Either way, if you fall into that calorie deficit that you need to hit, you'll lose weight, regardless of if you're intermittent fasting or not, or if you're on keto or carnivore or whatever you're doing. As long as you eat the proper calories, protein, and so on, you'll hit your targets and you'll lose weight. So that's it for this video. Those are the most common mistakes when it comes to weight loss. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can check out my website, lanenelsonfitness.com. Got a free blog on there, a coaching page you can check out, or you can sign up for my email list. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.